Welcome to the Country Hipster Podcast. My name is Paul. I am the Country Hipster. The music you just heard was none other than Dirty Knife by the Unholy Four from Charlottesville, Virginia. We here on the Country Hipster Podcast have made them fucking rock stars. Mm-hmm. So you're welcome, Charlottesville, Virginia, and the Unholy Four. Go check out the Unholy Four on Spotify, Bandcamp, Apple Music. You can follow them on Instagram and wherever you can find the Unholy Four. Podcast specific promo code on OttsvilleRecordGarage.com is listener. It is listener with a question mark. You got to have the question mark to get 15% off of your next order at OttsvilleRecordGarage.com. You just put listener into the promo code area and you'll save 15% off of your entire purchase at OttsvilleRecordGarage.com. As you can see, we are not actually in the Ottsville Record Garage. We are in the Ottsville Dining Room Garage. Or Dining Room Records? Record Dining Room? Ottsville Record Dining Room. So just to give you guys a heads up, number one, this is my brother and co-host Adam.
Hey, yeah.
Yes, welcome.
What's going on, guys?
And my beautiful wife, Katie, is out with friend of the podcast and our resident female, Kristen. They decided to go to a concert together tonight. So I'm on Regina duty.
Do you remember what concert they're going to?
I have no idea. It's some
goth shit.
Some goth band from Georgia that no one's heard of that Kristen really likes.
Sick.
So, so it checks out. But so they're at that. They are down at the Milk Boy Philly, checking that out. So I am on Regina duty. So Regina is in bed. So we got to keep our voices down. You motherfuckers at home,
shut the fuck up.
Keep it down. We don't want to wake the baby because we're doing a podcast here, and the baby needs to sleep.
Did I ever tell you when you work in the hospital and you got like a crazy person who's like sundowning really hard and they're like acting like an asshole? You just go.
Did you say sundowning?
Sundowning.
Sundowning.
Like,
what is sundowning?
It's like people who have like Alzheimer's sometimes. Or
don't
like
block your face.
Or like dementia. People who have like dementia, like they'll be fine in the morning, but then as the day gets on, they get worse and worse and worse.
Okay,
So they call it sundowning.
Okay.
But if they're acting like all loud and shit, you just walk over and be like, "There's a baby in the other room," and they just shut the fuck up.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like 9 times out of 10, they're like, "Oh, I'm sorry."
Oh, geez. Okay. Hey, it kind of like snaps them back. Okay. All right. Well, there you go. But yes, my brother and co-host Adam is here, and as you can see, we did this on episode 2. It's one of the new segments we're doing here on season 2.
This is episode 10, so it's been a little bit since we did a mystery beer.
Yes, this is our mystery beer. This is the Brulette Challenge. I saw it on Mike V's beer on Instagram. I'm still calling him Mike V's.
I'm sure
it's Mike First Beer.
I'm sure
but I'm calling Mike V's beer. It's Mike V's beer because it could be his last name could begin with a V. Mm. And there's just you can't put an apostrophe in your handle. So Mike V's beer. It's Mike V's beer.
It's true. You can't do punctuation.
Exactly. So
many have tried, few have failed.
Many have failed.
Yeah.
Few have succeeded.
Yeah.
I have. A point. That's all I'm saying, that it's Mike V's beer and not Mike Verse beer. But at any rate, we're going to do the Brulette Challenge. And then after we do the Brulette Challenge, we are in September, and we talked last week about how we are drinking Oktoberfest beers. We have some fall beers here for us to drink as well on our drinking podcast. It is a music podcast, an educational podcast, and a babysitting podcast.
It is a babysitting podcast.
Although, it's my kid. I'm not really babysitting.
Tune in for babysitting tips with Adam and Paul.
Yes. All right, so
babies aren't dishwasher safe.
You guys, wait, they're not?
No.
Fuck. Shit. Okay, that explains a lot.
It's funny because I think your dishwasher might currently be running.
Yeah, it is. So, and Regina's not to be seen.
Yeah.
Whoa. Now, all right, you go first. I will let you do your Brulette Challenge first. Notice wait, before you do that, let's just look at the tinfoil jobs here. How nice and smooth mine is, and how you just kind of just throw a big piece of tinfoil on there, and what are you smelling there, buddy?
It smells like it's not beer.
It's beer. Oh, you're a mess, dude. You are a mess. Man, getting it all over the place. What is wrong with you?
God, that was not. Oh, God. Why did it come out so dark at the end?
I don't know. Actually, I've never poured it out. I have had this before. So it
looks like a fucked up shamrock shake.
It does look like a fucked up shamrock shake.
All right, so
this is going to be so much fun. It does look like some weird fucked up shamrock.
I feel
shape,
like
man. It looks milky.
The fact that
I don't know that it's supposed to be.
The fact that it poured so light and then poured so dark at the end, it leads me to believe that I feel like I should have shook the can up.
But it's carbonated, so that would have been a bad idea.
That's the thing. Like what I feel like I should.
Yeah. Oh,
I feel like I should fucking mix it.
Yeah.
I feel like I feel like my piss is gonna be like a very unhealthy color.
You're gonna be like pissing leprechaun green with this. Yeah. You don't hate it.
No, I don't.
Yeah, I know you don't.
It's just weird because like the fucking like the layer that's on top.
It is. That is a strange thing. So here's what I'm gonna say about this beer. Actually, I've had this before because
are we classifying this as beer?
It's a beer. It's definitely a beer, and you'll see that when you open it up. Friend of the podcast and the official bartender of the Ottsville Record Garage, Tom Bernard.
Look at the fucking.
I know it's weird
on the glass.
He brought this to the garage a few weeks back, so it was actually left over. And I was going to go out and specifically buy you a beer, but then I saw this in the fridge, and I'm like, no, fuck it, I'm going to do this for his Brulette challenge. But it is a beer. I actually had it, and surprisingly did not hate it. I actually thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, I don't hate it.
Yeah, it's definitely weird.
It tastes like something, but I can't figure out what it tastes like. It's not bad.
Yeah.
Well, it's just unsettling.
The color would make you think it's a certain type of flavor. What might that flavor be?
Leaning toward looking at the color, I would lean towards like a lime.
Really? Okay. You're getting
no, actually no, because actually I just took it like a little tiny green apple.
Okay, yes, it is a green apple. It is a green apple beer, but it's a specific type of green apple beer, which is why I'm surprised that I like this because I don't particularly like these types of beers.
So it's an IPA?
I don't believe so.
I don't know what else you don't like besides IPAs.
Would you like me to tell you what I don't like, or do you want to try to guess what it might be? Adam's taking another sip for our people who are not watching the video on Spotify or YouTube.
It doesn't seem like it should be classified as a beer.
It is though. It's pretty fun. Although I don't think this style of beer should be classified as a beer, period, because I don't particularly care for them.
Is it supposed to be like a sour of some sort?
Yep, it's a sour.
Local?
I think it's a Jersey. I think it's a Jersey brewery. I'm not 100% sure.
Coming from Tom, that would make sense.
Tom, it makes sense. Yep.
I mean, like I said, it's not bad. Like I've gone through like half the fucking thing. Yeah. Is this like super high in alcohol content?
I actually don't know. I don't know. Do you want to see exactly what it is? And
yeah, I'm really interested because it
might be easier to open it from the bottom.
It's very unsettling.
It is. I will say I never poured it out. I only had it out of the can.
All right, so we have a smoothie sour ale, green apple sugar from Magnify Brewing in Jersey.
Yep. So
I mean, it's not. It's fucking weird. Yeah. But it's not bad.
Again, I didn't know it was going to look like this. The smoothie part, I forgot about it, and it is a sour.
Contains lactose. Fucking roll the can.
Oh shit.
No, don't shake it. I fucking should have.
Well, then, yeah, actually, you probably should have. There you go. Well, not even shaking it, just rolled the can. But, you know, I'm sure it got moved around a bunch.
I'm going to go get a spoon. I'll be right back.
Yeah, go get a spoon. I'm going to open up my beer here while you're getting a spoon. I am very, suspicious of what you got me here.
I'm super excited.
If I just by...
Can I tell you, it's going to be an equally as unsettling color.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm going to guess this is some sort of, just knowing you and things you were interested in. I know, when we talked about this the last time we did it, we almost both bought each other a Four Loko.
I did not get, it's not a Four Loko. I can guarantee it's not a Four Loko.
Oh, it's something fruity, though.
Yeah.
This is something fruity. So my guess, my wonder is if it's...
Oh, fuck, dude. Stir it up.
Is it better stirred up?
Try it stirred up.
There you go. All right. Let me see.
It's fucking better stirred up. You don't have that weird fucking layer you have to get through.
Yeah, so it's still the sour definitely comes through more.
Yeah.
Stirred up. So that's a little bit of but it's not bad. It's almost like a water ice, like when you let your water ice melt. All right, so I'm gonna pour this out. Looks like it's fairly. Oh no, this looks like.
Oh motherfucker! Now who can't pour?
This looks
I think what it is
it's
pouring,
the tinfoil.
pouring from tinfoil.
Yeah.
It's fucked up.
This looks like you are giving me Windex, watered down Windex is what this looks like. It's very sizzly, so I'm gonna guess that this is not necessarily a beer and more of a seltzer. Just looking at it and just looking at the amount of carbonation, that is big carbonation there. So like, kind of reminds me of like along the lines of like a Mike's or something like that. I've actually never drank a seltzer, let alone poured one out. But like, this is almost
You never had like a hard seltzer?
No.
I was actually debating you getting, because you drink a fuck ton of like Truly, or not Truly, bubbly.
Yeah.
So I was debating getting you like a hard seltzer.
Yeah. So it also kind of smells a little bit like Windex. Are you trying to kill me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm trying to make sure your insides are streak free.
Is this like that movie Jawbreaker?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh God. All right. Here we go. I'm gonna take a sip here. Hold on. Okay, so this is not good. Definitely high carbonation. I don't know. You guys can't really see it on the video. I'll try to turn it where there's no words. But I mean, it literally looks like almost like a fucking like
champagne.
Yeah, like it's oh God, it's got that fucking dude. I'm a diabetic, dude, and you're giving me like this sugary fucking Windex looking water.
Wait till you open it up and you'll see. You'll be like, dude, I'm diabetic.
This has got to be like I said, just probably one of those like berry fucking seltzers or something like that. I don't know who it would be by. That was my no.
That's it.
Oh God, it's even worse. Oh, well now the color makes sense. It's a Mountain Dew, hard Mountain Dew Baja Blast. Oh God,
dude, I just saw it. I was like, holy shit, that exists.
Well, here's the thing, and that's probably what if it had regular sugar in it. This is zero sugar.
Yeah. So that's why I asked you if you like Taco Bell.
Yeah, that's why. Oh, okay. Well, when I go to Taco Bell, if I am getting a soda, it's usually going to be a large Pepsi because I like a fountain Pepsi or a cherry Pepsi. I don't go with the Baja Blast, but you can only get the Baja Blast besides the hard one at Taco Bell.
No, not true.
Not true?
Fountain, yes.
Fountain, okay.
But they do now bottle Baja Blast.
Okay, all right. Yeah, no, this is disgusting. This is absolutely, it's a malt beverage with natural flavors, artificial sweetener, certified color, and FD&C yellow number 5. Oh my God, this is an alcohol percent of 5%.
Yeah.
It looks like Windex that has been fucking watered down, and it tastes like absolute shit. That's the artificial sweetener in there. It's like, oh God.
Oh yeah, it is zero sugar.
Yeah. So I'm gonna put that over there. I am not going to finish.
Let me try it.
This. Yeah, go for it, man. You can
because I fucking love Baja Blast.
Well, here's the thing too. It's Mountain Dew. So my question is, and I don't see it. I'm wondering, is there like a caffeine content to this as well?
Let me just tell you, your boy's a fan.
No, are you really? Well,
because I fucking love Baja Blast.
There you go, man. There you go. So on that note, you can have the rest of that.
I have all these weirdly colored drinks.
You do. It's like it's like we took mine.
But apparently, I asked the guy at the beer because I walked up to the counter at the beer distributor. And the guy's like, how's it going? I'm like, it's going good, man. I'm like, I just found out this is a thing, so that's cool.
Uh-huh.
And apparently they have variety packs.
Oh, God.
So they had in the cooler where they have like the singles like these.
Yeah.
They had a regular Mountain Dew, and they had the Baja Blast.
Oh God.
I
don't even really like regular Mountain Dew.
I'm curious if they have like a Code Red because I can get behind that too.
Oh God, no, that was horrible. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to switch my hat. I know we haven't gotten into music yet, but we are also a drinking podcast. I want to switch my hat because it is September. And we are on to our fall beers and our Oktoberfest. And the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to have my first pumpkin ale.
That's starting not to taste
starting
great.
not be. It looks like it's curdling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe you shouldn't have stirred it so much because it looks like it's curdling.
I don't fucking care.
But I am going to get my first pumpkin ale of the season because I am a basic white bitch.
I do what I fucking want.
This is a 4.4% alcohol by Sam Adams. It is the Jack O. You were not a fan of the Jack O from what I recall last year.
I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't think you were.
I'm not a huge supporter of pumpkin beers. I like a pumpkin beer that's like, hey, there's pumpkin in this beer. Not like a, hey, fuck you, pumpkin.
Yeah, no, see, I don't mind the fuck you pumpkin. This kind of has fuck you pumpkin in it with some good spice in it. So there you go. I am drinking the Jack O from Sam Adams, and that's why I have my my German hat on. And I think this is called a anal Weissen or anal Weissen.
Maybe that's what it was, because I remember us making fun of her for saying anal.
Yes, well,
because we're children.
Yes, we are. Where did my other hat go? What did I just do? Oh, it's on my knee. So so that is what I'm drinking. So I can take my Oktoberfest hat off now, and
because it's sweaty.
It is sweaty. So I only do that for. Are we going to do the big keg? I know we talked about that a little bit on the last episode, but remember last year we got the giant keg. We're going to do the giant keg again this year.
I mean, we can. We can. The problem is, like, when we did the keg,
it was a double episode.
We were recording a double episode, which we've been doing this season.
So we'd have to plan that out a little bit.
Maybe what we could do is if we get something that like we know we're gonna have a guest.
Yeah. Okay.
We get the keg.
Yeah, so they can help us.
So we could just probably knock it out in a single episode, especially if it's like Tom, especially if it's a guest with Tom.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
That'd be fucking that. Then we'll definitely be able to kill that little keg.
Not a bad idea. Yeah. So, beers aside, the Brulette Challenge was fun. This was absolutely disgusting, but I enjoyed doing it. Like, I actually really do. I like that we're doing this.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun. I didn't know what you were going to give me.
Speaking of it, just to let you know, when I was at the beer distributor up the street, so many different variations of
my
Chelada.
God. Oh, I know. Yeah.
Like they got like all like yellows and pinks and blue. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, no, I think one's going to end up on there eventually. Especially,
well, that's what I told you. Once you told me that they're not all tomato based, I'm fucking excited. I'll try the fuck out of them.
So, but
the tomato one's just gross.
You can actually buy a whole Chelada variety pack, like in 12 ounce cans. So but no, this is fun. We're doing it. We'll have 7 more episodes, which will have the mystery beer on.
This is fun.
Oh, look at that transition.
Thank you.
This is fun. We are here to talk about Fun, Aim, and Ignite. This is Adam's pick. This was not 2 in a row for you. It was not 2 in a row, but it is your 3rd album of season 2.
Yes.
All right. Excuse me. So hit me with some factoids, man.
This is the debut album from Fun. It was released August 25th, 2009. So we are currently... what's today? Today's the 18th, so we're pretty damn close to the
anniversary
to the anniversary of this album. Was released on Network, spelled Nettwerk. Was produced by Stephen Shane McDonald, who, is more well known as being a musician than he is a producer. Was the bass player for a band called Red Cross. I feel like I've had this conversation before on this podcast, talking about this guy.
Who's the guy again?
Stephen Shane McDonald. He was a bass player for Red Cross. He was a founding member of the hardcore band Off, and he's currently the bass player for the Melvins.
Okay, we might have mentioned him before.
I feel like I've had this. We feel like he's come up on the podcast, but that's the thing. When I was looking it up, the only other thing it told me that he produced was the Format album Dog Problems, which the lead singer of the Format is the lead singer of Fun.
Okay.
But I feel like I've had this. I feel like I remember writing down Red Cross somewhere. It was probably fucking Steel Train.
Probably fucking Steel Train.
Because the lead singer of Steel Train is the guitar player and backup vocals for this band. Jack Antonoff. Yeah.
Also of Taylor Swift fame.
Yes.
And Bleachers. And and fucking Steel Train.
Steel Train.
You know what is better than Steel Train? Buffy the Vampire Slayer, motherfucker.
It's true. In all ways monetarily and listening wise. So this album was listed as number 26 on Sputnik Music's top 50 albums of 2009. Was peaked at number 71 on the Billboard 200, number 20 on the U.S. alternative albums, 23 on the U.S. rock albums, and number 3 on the U.S. Tastemaker album. I feel like we've discussed this. Where do they get what's the Tastemaker?
Tastemaker, I have no idea.
Oh, it's Billboard.
Know. Yeah, I know, but I don't know what the Tastemaker album is. Like, there's the thing that we talked about. That was with the Billy Joel episode about, and as well as the Buckingham Nicks episode where it was the basically the catalog stuff or the you know what I mean, the Midland. So I don't know what the Tastemaker is. I didn't.
It's interesting.
I know what a pacemaker is.
Yes.
Yeah. There's a band called Jerry and the Pacemakers.
Yeah. They ferry across the Mersey.
Yeah. What?
Yeah. Jerry and the Pacemakers.
What?
Ferry Cross the Mercy.
Oh, is that name of the song?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just know the name of the band.
You don't know any fucking...
No, I don't know. I just know the band.
Here.
So, yeah.
I apologize for Paul. He's a fucking asshole. Douchebag. I don't really have any other factoids. The other really last one I had was Absolute Punk. When the album came out, their review of this album was, "This is what a pop album is supposed to sound like."
Okay. All right.
I discovered this band because a girl that I was dating at the time was a fan of the format. Introduced me to Fun. Her and I went to go see Fun at World Cafe Live. And that's actually where I got the Steel Train album that we covered last season, because Steel Train opened for Fun.
Oh, so Steel Train played. So Jack Antonoff played Steel Train.
Yeah.
And then turned around and played it. Okay.
If I'm not mistaken, if I remember correctly, the somebody, I think one of the touring musicians for Steel Train was playing bass for Fun, because Fun is just three guys. It's Nate Roos, or whoever the fuck you pronounce his name, Jack Antonoff, and I can't remember the last guy's name. I apologize to that guy. But
okay. The bass player.
Yeah, no, not the bass. He's not the bass player. I think he plays keys and horns, basically.
Yeah, so,
but like when I saw them live, they were touring. They had I can't remember his name. Will Noon.
Okay.
I believe.
Okay.
He's
was he High Noon?
High Noon. He was High Noon.
High Noon?
No, the guy who played drums for them is he was the drummer for Stray Light Run, and he was the drummer for I think a fairly local band called Breaking Pangea.
Okay.
But yeah, so they were. That's where I got the Steel Train album from, was seeing this band live. I think I had picked this album up like a couple months after seeing them live at I've talked about the record store Tunes before, that I used to go to with the girl that I dated.
You got it at Tunes, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why?
Brand new, factory sealed?
Yeah.
Okay. What?
It's very ominous.
I'm just asking a question. Just asking a question.
Your line of questioning is concerning.
That's all. And what year was that? Because the album came out in 2009.
Yeah.
Right, and you saw them what year?
I saw them probably 2009, 2010. I can't remember.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And so you got the album probably 2010, 2011.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Around there, I think. Yeah. I can actually tell you exactly, because I've actually I've found YouTube videos from that concert, and it turned out the person who was recording, like, they basically,
oh yeah, you had said that.
He's like recording, like, literally, it's just like, hey, I'm like, why does that shirt look so familiar? I'm like, it's because that's fucking me. The person who was recording, hey, Alistair.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, this is actually, you know what? Today is Alistair's birthday.
Is it?
It is. Today is Alistair's birthday. He was born on August 18th, 2011.
You sweet little baby angel.
He's my buddy. This is my Alistair. So, Alistair, this is your first time on. Yeah, that's right. He was actually supposed to be my mom, Regina's kitty cat. So, Regina.
Hold on, I got
Yep. Yeah. So, Regina. And we were holding on to him because we were irresponsible pet owners, and we had a cat that was not fixed and had kittens because my ex-wife would let the cat out. And come on. Yeah, so we rehomed all the kittens, but my mom was supposed to take Alistair. She was in cancer treatment, so we were holding on to her, and, unfortunately that didn't work out for her. But I still have Alistair all these years later, and today's Alistair's birthday. And what I will say that I did, after Regina was born, I introduced Alistair to Regina, and I officially gave Alistair to my Regina, my daughter Regina. So he's actually Regina's cat. He's not my cat anymore.
Alistair, last weekend I house sat for Paul, and Alistair was my buddy the whole weekend.
He is.
Anytime I wasn't standing, Alistair was trying to fucking cuddle up on me. So.
Man, he's a lover. He's an old man, but he's got a lot of spice to him, and he likes to play, and he likes to cuddle, and yeah, man, he is definitely a lover. He's got his two girlfriends here. We have Charlotte and Miss Jackson, so they're his girlfriends, and he hangs out with them. But he's a good cat. He's a good boy. So yep. So awesome. So what else do you have about this album? Don't be surprised if you just see Alistair walking by in the middle of the episode.
Yeah, it's just like I kind of took a liking to the band right away. We'll get into it a little bit later, but actually the girl who introduced me to Fun, her and the song we considered our song is on this album, which we'll discuss a little bit later. But yeah, I mean, it's just a fun, pun intended. It's just a fun. It's a fun pop album. Like it's it's catchy. It's got some interesting like instrumentation to it, which is something that they it makes a lot of sense because that's something that they've said about the format was they incorporate a lot of like interesting horns that you didn't expect and stuff like that.
Okay.
So I enjoy the album. I can tell by the tone of your voice that you did not.
But you don't know that.
But yeah, like I said,
haven't said anything.
I enjoy the album. It's just a fun, easy to listen to pop album.
Okay.
It's catchy as fuck. Every once in a while, I will just catch myself having one of the songs stuck in my head. But yeah, like I said, I discovered it through an ex-girlfriend. Saw them live. They do a really good live show. Very like really tight.
Which is pretty interesting because there is a lot of instrumentation going on. There's a lot of different instruments, a lot of music going on.
Yeah.
And it's basically three guys. And even if to cover all that instrumentation, you have to have probably a 15, 20 member band. Unless they're doing a lot of backing tracks.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah.
Yeah. Not a fan of the backing.
I'm not a fan of the backing tracks. I'm not. I would rather see a 3-piece band break down their shit and play it the best they can without all the studio magic.
Yeah.
Or I'd like to see
like a
15. The 20-member band
do
everything it has to be. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to like go and because I know there's people who use backing tracks.
I can agree with you on that because there's been like I feel like we've talked about on the album where like there's only one guitar player in the band, yet like in some of the songs there is a lead and a rhythm set part,
right?
And it's basically him playing both parts, and it's always kind of annoyed me like something that annoys me to no end is when a song just kind of fades out at the end. Mm-hmm. Just fucking end the song. Yeah. Like end the song is how you would end it live. When you play it live, you don't just slowly start getting quieter and shit. Mm. You just fucking end the song.
Well, what's funny is someone else who had a complaint similar to that was our Gen Z, our resident.
Actually,
Gen
I remember her talking about something about that.
Yeah, on the Gen Z perspective, specifically of the Pet Sounds episode, where she is also annoyed with that, especially when being in a band and you're covering these songs. How the fuck do you end the song?
Yeah.
So if you don't know what we're talking about, check out our YouTube channel, the Country Hipster Podcast on YouTube, and we have a very special segment on there. It is YouTube exclusive content for the Gen Z perspective of season 1. It's kind of like the cliff notes of season 1. Listener in front of the podcast, Megan, has been recording these videos, and they're really cool. And we're releasing like 2 a week or so until we get through all of season 1. So go check it out. Check it out on our YouTube page.
I want to give a shout out to her because she's definitely ballsier than you and I are, because we record this in the comfort of the Ottsville Record Garage or the Ottsville Record Dining Room. She must look like a crazy person because she's recording the majority of these in her car.
Well, she's usually driving down the highway. No, she's not, but she is recording them in her car. So yeah, she probably looks like a little bit of a crazy person.
Like I forget which one it was. I was just watching one of them recently where someone you can see people walking past her in the background, and I'm like, dude, like I'm like I can just imagine like people are like, what the fuck is this bitch doing?
Yep. Cool.
Alistair, you want some green apple smoothie beer?
Yeah. No, Alistair, you don't. So, so have you completed your initial thoughts?
My initial thoughts, yeah. So I want to hear what you think about this album. I was very, very, and I was anticipating your response to this album, given what you felt about Steel Train.
Okay, so for us to get into this, we need to do something. Okay.
You need me to take this top off?
No.
Good.
I need you to read this letter in its entirety and read it out loud on the podcast. So you could start with the
for Adam not to be opened before August 18th, 2024. You didn't just like write the N-word a bunch of times.
No. No. But you need to read this. It's very important, and you make sure you read it aloud.
Wednesday, November 14th, 1990. Dear Adam, if you are reading this, you have opened up the envelope in the stupidest fucking way known to man, and I am finding that my greatest fears have come true. Today, on the day of your birth, we have just finished filming the pilot episode of season 1, and you have 7 kids, 4 of which you do not know about, and you won't for some time. But I digress. As you read this, we are 10 episodes into season 2, and you have selected Fun, Aim, and Ignite. I know there were times over the years where we didn't see eye to eye over the albums chosen, but I'm going to be the bigger person here and say it. I'm sorry. I do not know what I did to you that the punishment was having to spend a week listening to the god-awful piece of horse shit that is this album. But here we are. I guess the time continuum. I don't know if that's how you spell continuum.
It is actually.
Is it really?
Autocorrect did it. Yeah.
Oh, that's strange. I guess the time continuum was not changed as I had hoped it would be. This is by far one of the worst albums that I've ever heard in my life, and that's saying a lot because you will make me listen to Say Anything in a few weeks. I sincerely and wholeheartedly apologize to the country hipster. Very nice. I give you credit because you prepared for this episode. You typed up a fucking letter.
Well, no, I did that I time traveled.
That's what I mean. You
19
discovered time travel and went back in time to write this fucking letter. It's kind of amazing. Like, you really did. God, like, I just listened to the albums despite what Paul fucking thinks. He fucking hopped in that DeLorean and hit 88 and made sure he poured a can of beer into the fucking Mr. Fusion.
Yes, exactly. It was actually a hard Mountain Dew.
Yeah, it was a hard.
Blast. All right, so this.
Oh no!
Oh shit! Oh, it's down. Okay, so this album.
Anal face down. Anal face down.
This album is an episode of Glee when they try to recreate the musical Rent, but without the heroin and AIDS.
Wow.
Once again, Jack Antonoff has ripped off every band he has ever heard. He tries to recreate Pet Sounds, Queen, then does a Killer song, followed by ripping off River City Extension, and leaving you confused about what just happened in the worst version of a musical theater ever put on vinyl.
Where did you get River City Extension?
Let me see the track list real quick. Basically, I want to say
you're like basically all of side 2.
No, it's Bar Lights, Gambler, or Take Your Time. It's one of those songs I forget. Might even be Walking. I think it's one of the songs on side C that he basically rips off River City Extension. Light a Roman Candle with Me, he basically rips off Barry Manilow. It's just this album fucking sucks.
I fucking knew you weren't gonna like
it. Now musically speaking, I will say this.
Speaking of this album having 3 sides but being 2 records, did you see the back of that?
Yeah.
I like these. This was the first one I ever saw. The back of the album.
Has an etch. You can't really see it there, but it is.
Back of the second disc is etched as what it is on the inside of the gatefold.
Yeah, which is kind of neat. There's some cool albums like that. Like there's and I own it. It's the 50th anniversary remaster of Pink Floyd Dark Side of the Moon that came out this year.
Has the prism. It
has the prism, and on the one disc, and it's a clear vinyl with a UV picture on it. So there's the prism, and then the other one has like the heartbeat in rainbow, and it's actually really. Actually, if you look on Instagram, I had a pop up yesterday, and one of the reels I put, if you look at Outspell Record Garage on Instagram, one of the reels I had was
outspellrecordgarage.com.
You were too fucking close again and blew out the speaker.
No, I didn't. I talk low like this. Outspellrecordgarage.com.
It goes red. It's bad.
It was yellow. Fuck you.
No, it was red when you were doing it. See the red? See the red? God damn it. You are the worst. But Ottsville Record Garage on Instagram, you can see what I did there. You can see the actual Pink Floyd album. So the etching is neat. Musically speaking, these are some neat compositions. Very art school / jazz musician student, pretentious. I'm going to change the world with this album type of bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
It's not fun, despite the name. I'm sorry, it's not. I mentioned about how how you said they played live with a lot of like backing tracks, and I have here.
I didn't say that at all.
What?
I didn't say
you said they play they use backing tracks.
No, I said they had traveling. I said they had touring musicians.
Oh, so they had like 20 people with them.
No, they only had a few. They just left out some like. So they didn't have they didn't have 20. They had like I would say it was the three main guys plus probably like three drummer, bass player, and somebody else on keyboards when the guy who normally plays keyboards has to do horns.
Okay.
So
all right. Well, at any rate, this is Overdubbed Turds. Oh, look, we need a harpsichord and some horns and oh snap, let's do some strings. I bet you there's an theremin and some Coke bottles here somewhere too.
Yeah.
You know where there was an electro-theremin and some Coke bottles?
Where?
Fucking Pet Sounds. Do you know what I mean? Like this is just
but there's also like a fucking goat.
Yeah, I know. You think I was gonna say, I wonder if there's a goat. I bet you there's a fucking peacock fucking squealing in the background somewhere. Yeah. Probably when they're singing. Oh, it's just so bad. It's so bad. I'm convinced that Taylor Swift lost a bet to Jack Antonoff and owes him more money than she's actually worth, which is pretty amazing. Which is why she keeps fucking working with that guy. Yeah. Because it's fucking horrible. This album is just so bad. It's so bad. I'd rather listen to Buckingham Nicks than this.
I was anticipating Paul's reaction. Was not anticipating the letter from the Ghost of Christmas Past, but that was fucking good. I mean, I enjoyed that quite a bit. But yeah, I was fully anticipating you to feel this way about this album.
Yeah, no, this is it's just. I went through all my notes. Like that's just that's it. That's all I gotta say. It's just bad.
I figured if you somehow came out of this liking this album, that it meant that hell froze over. And yeah, like I said, I think,
but no, like I said in the letter, whatever I did to you to make this my punishment, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Adam. Please forgive me. Don't do this to me again. I am so sorry.
I'm trying to think if there's anything on my list that like you're really gonna fucking hate. I can't remember what my list is.
Yeah, I know. It's it's we only have 10 albums each, but yeah, you'd think we'd remember more. But I actually don't even remember all the ones. I actually think I remember more of like other people and like listeners' albums that are coming up than I do like the albums.
Yeah, I feel like I remember listeners' albums more too.
Yeah. So, but at any rate, fucking horrible album. Again, musically, compositions, they're cool. It is neat. It is very neat. It's very skilled. It's very dynamic. It is what it is. It's not what I fucking need to hear. I don't need to see a fucking Glee episode on fucking vinyl. Cause like, that's the thing too. Like I liked the first season of Glee. The second season was okay. And by the third season, it was just way too much. Mm-hmm. So why do you need a fucking album like this?
I don't know what, I want to say it was Some Nights. I know Fun has. I'm almost 100% certain that Fun has been featured on Glee.
No problem. With this shit, probably has.
I just can't fucking remember which one it is.
Yeah, no, it's Some Nights is probably. It would not surprise you that, which is what I was thinking. Like I know the song Some Nights.
Some Nights was their second album, and Some Nights got a little bit more.
It definitely got some airplay.
Definitely got more airplay than this did.
The album itself, there was an anniversary edition that was released on like purple vinyl that I remember I had some in stock, and they like bang 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 like sold right out. You know what I mean? But I didn't keep one obviously. Yeah. But I did hear the song Some Nights, which wasn't a horrible song. But even when I heard Some Nights, I'm like, is this what pop music is going to? Because like, not that I'm ever like a huge pop music fan in general, but if this is where it's going, I don't like it. And it's not even like, it's not rock and roll, because I'm not saying that. It's just, I'm not identifying even a little with it. Yeah. Again, the musicality of it, from a musicality standpoint, it's phenomenally written. It really is. It's well recorded. It's, you know what I mean? But it's like, man, like why? This is just so unnecessary of an album. And you're trying to recreate a sound and a feeling and a vibe that can't be created. Stuff like that, stuff like Pet Sounds, stuff like Bohemian Rhapsody, things like that just happen. Like, I know you sat down and you created, but they just happened. This album feels like it's trying to make that happen.
What do they say? Like a shot in the pan or something like that? Like a once in a lifetime type thing.
You know what I mean? And I think that's the thing about this album. And it tries to hit on all these different dynamics and all these like, you know, popular things, and tries to put them all together, and it just falls short because it's forced. Muse, that's another band I hear out of this album. Muse is one of those bands where it's like, you know
really?
what I mean?
I don't get Muse.
Oh no, I totally get Muse in this. You know, it's but like I also felt like Muse was like a ripoff of Queen too, to an extent. I don't really like Muse either.
No, I don't care for Muse.
But like that is what this is. Like, I don't think this is an album that happened. This is an album that was, we're gonna make this type of an album.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
I can see that.
You know, whereas just like all of the you know, like I said, like those other albums that I mentioned, they happened. They weren't forced. Yes, you go down, I'm going to write this album, and this is what I'm going to do. But this feels like they were trying to write an iconic album. Yeah. Instead of just making an iconic album. Yeah. You know what I mean? If that makes any more sense.
Trying to force it instead of letting it come naturally.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I could totally understand that. And I could see, I could definitely see what you mean from like ripping off, you know, other things, and definitely I can definitely understand what you mean by they tried to make. It's almost like, you see it a lot in movies where like they try to make like a B horror movie, and then like it comes out like worse than a B horror movie. Like you're trying to make a bad movie, or you're trying to like capture that same lightning in a bottle. Like you can tell when a movie is just like, oh, it got a sequel because the first one made a fuck ton of money, and there's no such thing as an original idea anymore.
Right. That's what this album is.
Yeah.
This album is not an original idea.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a sequel. It's, you know, I mean, if they came out and said we're paying homage to all of the bands that we loved, I might accept it a little bit more. But
you didn't read the liner notes?
No, I didn't read the liner notes. So fuck that, because number one, I can't read. Yeah. I'm surprised I could even write that letter.
That's true.
You know?
You probably had Katie write it. Like
yes, I did.
You just dictated. You're just like, you open this in the dumbest way. Next line, indent.
Well, that's what happens with me and Katie is we'll be sitting there at dinner. I'm like, darling, take a note. She gets her little typewriter out. She's like, but I'm eating dinner. I'm like, put that on your steak and take a note. And that's, you know, that's how the dynamic of my marriage works.
I just imagine that like she is always at the ready with a fucking typewriter. Like it's
like we are with the core. She's like, okay.
Yeah, it's just an old timey typewriter. Like you're just sitting there fucking, you're eating your steak and you're enjoying it. And like, she's just like, ding, ding.
Yes, that is how this letter got right.
You're a real piece of shit, Paul. Not letting your good lady wife enjoy her meal.
My good pregnant lady wife enjoy her meal where she's eating for two, and you know, because she has to take a note.
Yeah. All right. So I knew you weren't gonna. I knew you were gonna feel about this album the way that you do.
Yes, I do.
Like I said, I picked the album. I discussed.
Let me before you get into your further thoughts. That's actually the thing that like I hate this album, and I knew I was going to hate this album. You knew I was going to hate this album. I'm more surprised that you like this fucking album.
It's so I think I've talked about it before, where like I consider myself a pessimist. I will always assume the worst out of everything. But when it comes to art in any way, movies, music, anything, I will try to always find something in it that I like. So it could be something I hate, but I'll find just a tiny little piece of it that I'm like, oh, this album sucked, but that fucking bass though, or like something like that.
Well, like I said, the compositions are what do this for me. And the harmonies they use, they're incredible. They're incredible singers. They're incredible musicians. They're great songwriters. This album sucks.
I think that's what it boils down to. Is like I'm just a sucker for a really fucking catchy tune, and that's what this album is. This album is just catchy after catchy after catchy after catchy.
It's got catchy parts. None of these songs complete, with the exception of one, are catchy complete.
Okay,
they have catchy parts, and then they turn into these other parts, and I'm waiting for a fucking Shakespearean soliloquy in the middle of one of them. It's just
look at Paul using big words.
Right. Did you notice I had to stutter though?
Soliloquy.
So, real quick, I am switching over to the Sam Adams Flannel Fest, which is a Munich-styled Dunkin'.
God, you stuttered on Munich as well.
I did.
That's your favorite Eric Bana movie. Did you ever see that movie?
No.
Neither have I.
No.
I saw like the first 10 minutes of it. Apparently, Eric Bana kicked some serious ass in that movie.
Okay. I couldn't even tell you who Eric Bana is. You say Eric Bana, and I just go like Eric Lestrada from Chips.
Eric Bana was he was the guy who played the Hulk before Ed Norton in the movies.
Okay. Cool. I'll take your word for it. Yep.
I can't think of anything else off the top of my head that you would actually know that he was in, but yeah, he's an actor.
Oh, okay. All right. Was he in Bananarama?
No.
Oh, so he didn't do Cruel Summer?
Usually my points of reference for Eric Bana are the Hulk and Munich. No. And seeing as how I'm trying to explain to you who Eric Bana is because you don't know Munich, it's not going to work out well.
No, it's not. It's not. So, yeah. All right. So I'm sorry. Go on.
So I knew going into this that you weren't going to like this album. I knew it was a snowball's chance in hell that you were going to like this album. Yeah. I picked the album. I've talked about how I went back and forth between whether or not I was going to put this on season 1 or whether I was going to put Steel Train on season 1, and Steel Train won the coin flip. But there is a beautiful baby angel who went right to sleep and is not interrupting this podcast. Not like Alistair, yes. Who's sleeping right up the hallway. What does Regina care about? I feel like I can see Regina enjoying this.
Well, Regina likes Hairspray, and she likes Little Shop of Horrors, and she likes Encanto, and all that kind of fun stuff. So absolutely, of course, Regina liked this album. I will say though, she was a little confused at first. Mm-hmm. I think the look on her face was not so much what is this, was more like, Dad, what the fuck are you playing? Yeah. You know what I mean? That kind of look.
This Dad's putting this on?
Like what is this? So yeah, no, she did like it. Took a little bit for her to really get into it, but she did very much get into it. So the Regina factor is a like, so that brings you and I to a tie in the Regina factor with 2 likes and 1 dislike.
There you
go. Tom has 1 like, and the listeners have 1 of each: 1 like, 1 dislike, and 1 indifferent.
There you go.
So so I'm going to actually let you go through your 3 favorites and your least. So go ahead. Let me hear your 3 favorites.
3 favorites. I'm going to go. At least I'm not as sad in parentheses as I used to be.
That's the one. That is the one that is the River City Extension ripoff.
Is it?
Yep. It's almost.
You know what?
It's actually, almost to a T. It's Letter to Elaine.
Now that you
Letter to Elaine.
Now that you fucking say it, yeah, I get that a lot. Yeah.
And that pissed me off because I'm like, I fucking love River City Extension. Yeah. Why are they stealing from River City Extension? I'm sorry, River City Extension.
So yeah, at least I'm not
River City Extension.
Yeah. They're not dead.
They're not dead. They're not together anymore.
No, they're kind of dead.
The band itself, but anyway, go on.
So at least I'm not as sad as I used to be. Take Your Time in parentheses Coming Home, and the song, that was what me and an ex-girlfriend considered our song was The Gambler.
Man, I was really hoping it was going to be a Kenny Rogers cover when I saw that it was called The Gambler, and I'm like, this is no.
You're just really hoping you got to know.
Yeah, exactly. Because you know what? Then I might be like, all right, okay, no, I like it. I like this. Then, no, fucking horrible.
And then least favorite, and it's not even that I don't like the song; it's just probably the song I like least on this album is "Walking the Dog."
Okay, all right, okay. So we'll go through mine.
That being said, Walking the Dog is on the playlist that I play in my car almost every single day that I'm in my car. So.
Okay. All right. So, like I said, there are parts of songs that I like, but with the exception of one song, there are no full songs I like. Mm-hmm. And I can't even necessarily say that I like this song. It's the only song that I can stand on this album, and that's Benson Hedges.
Mm-hmm. Do you know Benson Hedges are?
They're cigarettes.
Yeah. I don't think they make Benson Hedges anymore. I haven't seen them in a while.
Yeah. Otherwise, side 4 of this LP, which is the
etching,
is the best sounding thing on the album. So if you put on
what is it? What would happen?
It just
skips all over the fucking place.
Yeah, it'll jump around and just make like a shitty noise. That is the best sounding thing on this album is the etching on side 4. So. So there's that. And so
fucking funny.
For my least favorite, basically you can pick any of the other 9 songs on this album.
Just throw a dart.
Whichever one you want to pick, and that is my least favorite song on the album. That's how bad this fucking album.
And again, I knew going into this that you were not going to care for this album, and it would be a miracle that if you did.
Yes.
And I would honestly, if you had told me that you like this album, I probably would have had a heart attack because that probably would have been like the most. And I'm not easily shocked. I've seen some weird shit in my life and heard some weird shit in my life. That would probably be the most shocking thing I've ever heard.
Well, just so you know, through my time travel, that doesn't happen to 2047.
Oh, okay.
So you got some time.
Yeah.
So
sick.
All right. So Discogs value.
Yeah.
All right.
So please get into why you were so intrigued of when and where I bought this album from.
Well, this is a 2010 2-disc, fourth side etched album, which includes a CD, which you said you've lost the CD.
I had the CD. If I'm not mistaken, I lent it to Haley's mom, and I never got it back.
Bitch.
Yeah.
Bitch. So it has an embossed cover. Did you know that? So if you feel certain parts,
the
gun, they're raised.
The gun is raised, and the peacock is raised.
The name, and on the back, you get the arrows raised and whatnot.
Yeah.
So these are all very special things. The etched fourth side, the extra CD.
Do they have a version of it where the fourth side is not etched?
There is only two versions of this, which is the 2010 version of this, which was released as part of Record Store Day 2010. And then they have a 2017 limited edition reissued numbered copy of it. So there are only two copies of this that have been released on vinyl.
Interesting.
One of which is the 2010 Record Store Day thing. Do you recall how much you paid for that?
Probably not an arm and a leg. If maybe $25-$30.
Okay. All right. Which probably sounds about right.
Yeah. I know like it was in that time where I know I wouldn't have paid like stupid money for this album at the time. But like I like the album enough to drop $25-$30 on it. But yeah, anything over $25-$30, I can't imagine it was more than that.
Okay. So on Discogs, they're most of the prices are based on a mint copy, and a mint copy just sold in April of 2024 for $117.
Oh wow.
Right. And that would be a mint copy, so that would be factory sealed.
Yeah.
Never been played, includes a CD, you lost the CD. So most very good plus copies are being sold or have been sold on Discogs in the roughly the $60 to $70 range.
Oh wow, that's
when you look at the history of what's been sold and the condition and whatnot. It'll tell you they're roughly between $60 and $70 for very good plus copies. But those are not our rules, Adam. Our rules are very simple: is that we find a pressing, I verify which one it is.
He keeps turning. He keeps turning his notes away from me, which it's unsettling because it either means that he doesn't want me to see how high it is, or he wants to save how low it is.
I'm saving. So those are not the rules. The rules are that we verify the pressing.
Yeah.
I put the vinyl condition at very good plus, regardless of what our personal copies are, or if there's things missing off the whole package deal, which would affect the value in this case. But those are not our rules. Buffy the Vampire Slayer. My copy of that was $192 for very good.
You're
plus.
Fucking kidding me, right?
The very good plus value of this album, fuck Jack Antonoff, is $195.
Jesus Christ, are you serious?
I am dead serious. Yes.
So wait, what was Buffy?
$192.
So I beat you by $3.
You beat me by $3. Fucking Jack Antonoff.
Dude, it has to be. It has to be. It has to be because it's Jack Antonoff.
It is.
It's the only thing that fucking makes sense.
That's part of it. It's the fact that I told you it's only been released twice on vinyl. One of them being a 2010 Record Store Day with all these special little features.
So this is what they would have released in 2010 on Record Store Day. Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep. So it was like when you bought it from that place, they probably had a leftover that didn't sell on Record Store Day, which is, because they can't do anything. Well, they can do shit with them now. Don't get me started about Record Store Day.
Don't even start.
Don't get me started.
Don't you fucking start.
Yes. But so they would have, still had it on their shelves and whatnot. So yeah, so you bought that and probably sometime after Record Store Day for $25-$30, and you certainly fucking have more than made your money back on it.
That's fucking crazy.
So like I would say without your CD and without, just visually grading it, it probably is a very good plus, but without the CD, because of this packaging, that would make a difference. But that being said, you probably still could get $50, $60, $70 for it without the CD.
Yeah.
You know, so what that brings us to, so three of us have three albums. That would be me, Adam, and the listeners are at three albums. Tom is only at one album. So this is the order that we are in. I am still in the lead, motherfucker.
I can see that.
At $287.
But not that far behind.
But not that far behind is Adam now because of fucking Jack Antonoff.
It's no longer Steel Train. It's fucking Jack Antonoff.
Yeah, I know. At $246. Listeners are at $163 and Tom is at $57. Now, here's what I'll say. I probably deserve this because I did say on the Buffy the Vampire Slayer one, I fucking looked that up and I'm like, I am fucking putting this on.
Yeah, that's
I do. It is karma. It hit me. It's getting me back. It's
you specifically vengefully. Like you don't even fucking like that album.
No.
You're just vengefully
I like
trying
that album, that was me vengefully trying to win the Big D.
Yeah,
and I'm still in the lead. We both have 7 albums left, so it's, you know what I mean. So it's good, but I mean, you know, the listeners could jump up. You know, Tom could have something in there. So we're gonna.
Say Tom's I know some of the can remember some of the albums that Tom has, and the way that we do Tom's and the listeners' albums. Tom has some potential to jump up.
Yes, yeah.
Like he has some albums that are on his list that there could be a pressing that'll fuck up the average completely.
Yep. So, all right. So I'm gonna pick here. We're gonna see if I get to extend my lead or do you get to take the lead from me?
I'm super excited that that I brought it so close because last time it was me, it was
after you'd Steel Train,
it was just me in the fucking front and just waving to you, but now it's very neck and neck almost.
Yes.
And I think that's more interesting.
Yes. All right, so it's envelope number 8. I'm gonna open the envelope like a normal person does, not a fucking retard like you.
Fuck, I just realized something.
What's that?
All the fucking records are downstairs.
Oh yeah, they are. Oh well.
So that means whatever you pull, you're gonna have to fucking riff for 5 minutes while I go fucking get the record.
No, I'm not. Okay, that's okay. We don't have to do that. But it is another one of you.
Oh, interesting.
It is another one of your albums, so you have an opportunity to take the lead from me. It is another mystery beer. Another mystery beer episode. So we'll be doing the brew.
Maybe I'll finally learn how to wrap something in tinfoil.
Exactly, and it is Circus Survive. Blue
Nice.
Sky Noise.
Very nice.
So if I recall correctly, did Zach want to be on this episode?
No. Zach, I know Zach. There's one specific.
There's a different one. Okay.
Yeah, there's one specific album Zach wants to be on, and that is not this.
Okay. I'll have to check. We're not. The computer's so far away because it's doing our.
I will say I love Circus Survive. I'm a huge fan. Local band. If Anthony Green, the lead singer, went to Archbishop Wood.
Oh, okay.
Which is maybe half an hour, 45 minutes from here.
A little bit more. 45ish. Yeah, it's probably 45.
So local band. We've talked about them before. I will say not my favorite Circus Survive album, just the only Circus Survive album that I own.
That happens.
If I had my choice, if I happen to have owned it, but every time I look for a copy, they're really fucking pricey. Juturna would be the Circus Survive album that we'd be covering, but Blue Sky Noise is a good substitute. Plus, if I remember correctly, it's a really cool looking fucking vinyl. I believe it's a translucent blue with a black smoke effect to it. It's so
cool.
I'm excited about that. But yeah, very excited for Circus Survive. Huge fan.
I will tell you, I know nothing about this band. Absolutely nothing. I know nothing about it. I couldn't tell you a song they do. I couldn't you know what I mean?
I have a feeling. I'm just letting you know. I have a feeling this is gonna be one you're not gonna like.
Oh, okay. All right. Cool. Is this? Maybe I need to write you another letter.
Yeah. Circus Survive tends to lean into more of the it's not super screamy, but some screaminess. And you like you said before. When we covered, I think I was re-listening. No, I was recently re-listening to the Taking Back Sunday episode from season 1.
Right.
And you talk about how you don't like the screaminess of the Taking Back Sunday of Tell All Your Friends. Not that you don't like screaminess, that you just think that if they focused on everything else but the screaminess, it would have been a better album.
Yeah, well, and it was the same thing of Mice and Men. I wanted to know what he was singing about. That was unnecessary. Whereas any of the screaminess in the little bit that there was on the brand new album was done well.
I would say
you know what I mean?
The screaminess of Circa Survive isn't like a Mice and Men screamy where you can't fucking like a guttural fucking like throat growl.
Right.
It's more of a brand new esque screamy where you can still used for used to portray emotion and not just
Okay. All right.
But yeah, I'm super excited for this.
All right, so there we go. That'll be next week's episode. So we had the big piece of shit that's worth $195 on this episode because Jack fucking Antonoff.
Which holy shit, I now have the most expensive record again.
You do. You have the most expensive record again. You fucking dickhead. So I have to hope in my remaining records I because the only one I looked up was Buffy because I had a feeling of it. So,
yeah.
So we'll have to see.
That's fucking funny.
That is fucking funny. But no, that's what I get. I get what I deserve. I will take that.
I solely picked all of my records for both lists based strictly on what I wanted to talk about.
Yes.
You were
this list was that there was. I picked one album because I wanted to win.
Yeah, you were so blinded by greed.
Yes.
And
by your big golden
you were blinded by the shimmer coming off the big D that you put on fucking blinders and you were just like, I don't even like the album. I'm gonna buy stupid crazy rare Japanese jazz albums to fucking beat at them. Piece of shit.
There are some of those out there. I don't own any of them now, but they do sound amazing.
No.
All right. So, Adam, you have anything else to say about this turd of an album? This
turd of an album. Same thing as I always say. Listen and form your own opinions. And at the end of the day, fuck Jack Antonoff. Apparently,
yes, fucking Jack Antonoff. Fuck Jack Antonoff. And
I'm really curious. I mean, we'll never know because of what has happened in the world. I'm very curious to see what this and what Steel Chain would be worth if Jack Antonoff had nothing to ever do with Taylor Swift.
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, you know what I mean. It does make you wonder. So
because it's the only
Swifties unite. It's
the only reason I can assume that these albums have any sort of value like that at all is
because they suck.
Because Jack Antonoff is involved in them. Because what Jack Antonoff has done.
Yep. So it might be interesting. I might actually be able to go back and see.
Back in time to see
what they sold for at a certain time, like pre folklore.
That'd be interesting.
So that could be interesting. That could be something neat to look into. But hopefully, we will never have to talk about Jack Antonoff again.
I don't have any Bleachers albums, so we're fine.
Thank God. All right. I got nothing else. You got nothing else?
Not at all.
I once again, I am sorry. I'm sorry. Whatever I did for you to make me listen to this fucking shit album. Okay. I'm sorry. Are we square now?
I'm sorry for taking back over the most expensive album on the podcast.
Fuck you. I still have the lead, so that's all that matters.
Hey, not by much. And listen, who knows? Blue Sky Noise might fucking put me over the top.
Whatever, dickhead.
I'm only $41 behind.
You are only $41 behind. That's true. So and it's still pretty early.
See.
We're still pretty early. All right. On that note, if you have nothing else, I have nothing else.
Shh, Gina's sleeping. Don't scream.
I'm not gonna scream.
Get real close and do it sexy.
But it is time to
move on, baby. Why don't you move on down the road? Why don't you move on over to my place? I don't like the way. I don't like what Paul's doing. I think what I'm doing is funny. What Paul's doing is uncomfortable.
What?
Oh, baby. You're trying to move on? Trying to move on down the road?
Just stop now.